Yeah, bottom of the day, right. Well, you know, I think the thing that it's exciting that you're doing this whole career clearing of yeah with Barb, and I was wondering, I want to hear about it. Like, how's it going?
Barb?
What have you learned?
You want to take that? I think I've run through my whole life from conception to now a couple times, but so for me it's been great. But I don't know about Jen. Like she seems to be like sharing a lot and growing a lot and clearing a lot. Yeah, I have to remind her to work on her thyroid, which that's the original issue.
That's right.
Why did you have something to say?
I do have like a few questions about that lesson. For one, how do you do it? Just kidding. Okay, the first part of the dimensions, finding out which dimension you're born on, and then going back to the third dimension and working your way up through each dimension, and going to each key incident within each dimension. How much detail are we supposed to do on that? Like really like get into every key incident on every dimension?
Good question. No, it would probably take you thousands of years to do that.
Yeah, since I have like 15 to 20 on each one at least that are like that I need to look at.
Well, it is the kind of thing you do all day. Like, you don't meet somebody and do it like for 45 minutes.
Right.
The meetings are supposed to consolidate and organize your mind around it.
Okay.
And it sounds like Barb has been dealing with this lifetime. Is that correct, mostly?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen strings of things and so forth, but we didn't actually go into past lives and test them, no. I didn't do that. I haven't done that with Jen yet.
Because
the
this lifetime one, that's the whole life clearing.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. We've been mostly going through our careers in terms of relationship work, mission.
When you start that lesson, it says that you should have cleared your past life traumas already. So I thought like that was something that was already to be done before you started this. Not that that's what this lesson is about.
Well, what?
Why are you laughing?
I can see why you're probably so good at what you do. You're like the way you see things. I would hate to be your client. You must be your personal trainer.
The other one.
20. Yeah, wow.
Okay, basically the idea of the whole career clearing is to find out what you've been up to for the last few thousand years. That is to say, what are you trying to accomplish? What's
the mission?
What's your mission? And see, the thing is that we used the word mission in a different way than most people. Like when people talk about their mission, like they think, well, I'm in this world for a reason. I have to find my mission. And that we do use it that way. That's what we mean. But they have, then to them, that means something else. It's like, some people think my mission is to raise these children. My mission is to get these kids to college. My mission is, stuff like that. And actually your mission is the thing that you've been trying to accomplish for thousands of years, and you go about it many, many ways.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Many, many ways. Like Franny was. Franny, in one of her lifetimes, Franny was the mother of the Emperor Constantine, the Roman emperor. Do you know anything about Helen, Constantine's mother? Either of you?
No. Not specifically, no.
You ever hear of her?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, what Franny's mission is to protect scriptures. That's actually her mission. And, you know, in this life, that's taken the form of art. And in that life, she brought a detachment of Roman soldiers to Jerusalem, and she went around through the city. See, she had like a lot of free time in that life because she, you know, she was the mother of the emperor. She had lots of money and power and so on. She could kind of do what she wanted. And what she did was she went through that city, and she found the 12 stations of the cross.
Wow.
Do you know what the 12 stations of the cross are, Jen?
Yeah, I went to Catholic school for 16 years.
Okay, well, she is the person who actually nailed the brass plaques down and said, you don't mess with this spot or these Roman soldiers I've got with me are going to cut you to pieces, you know. This is a protected spot now. This is Station 6 where such and such happened. And she went through them, and she, you know, that's why we have them, because of her efforts. So that's an example of one of many, many thousands of things that a person who protects scriptures might do as part of their mission. Which might be, God, I was listening to a talk by Malcolm Gladwell, and I realized, see, a lot of times what people do for their mission may be some 5-minute action in an 80-year-long life. And that's the only thing they ever did for their mission, but it was so critical. It was just this thing that made all the difference and changed the history of the world. But it was just this 5-minute thing. You know, like, have you ever seen a movie called Queen Margot?
No, I've heard of it.
Okay, well, there's just one thing about it in the movie where one of the Henrys, you know, he takes the other Henry hunting, and he says, you know, listen, you better just ride off into those woods and not come back, because if you know, because my mother's going to poison you. So, you know, and he does. He leaves, and he doesn't get poisoned. And of course, what happens is the other Henry, who's, you know, he goes back, the son goes back, and he finds this really interesting book in his room on falconry and starts, you know, leafing through the pages, and the poison was on the pages, and it kills him. So, but that's an example of, it's the only thing he ever did that really mattered in his life, was just this one thing of he got this guy who ended up being the King of France and totally changed French history. And he got him out of the Louvre before, you know, Catherine de Medici could kill him.
I see.
So that's an example of, you know, people being in the right place at the right time and, you know, performing some duty connected with their mission. And this is, you know, that's what the whole career clearing is about. Whereas, you know, why did you decide to do the whole career clearing? Did you test for it? Who was the person who decided to do it, Barb?
I actually tested for it. I think Jen might have seen it in one of my posts or tweets or whatever, and then
Yeah.
that's how. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then you wanted to do it. Or maybe she tested it on for herself.
Yeah.
And actually, I think I got to it because you had mentioned it one time, Byron.
Yeah.
That you thought you would recommend that I do it, because I don't think I ever had done that. I'd done the whole life and, you know, all that stuff, but whole disease, but not.
You know, I realize maybe a lot of the lessons are written in the wrong way, because you know the thing about commander's intent in the military. Like,
Commander's intent.
yeah, you know, I mean, like, I'm reading this book about the Civil War. They didn't know anything about commander's intent back in the Civil War, you know, and so, you know, this commander gets a note from his commander, and it says, push the rebels back, you know, to this point, and then, you know, surround them and destroy them. And there's like no way to do that. It's just stupid, you know. He gives them this whole strategy, you know. and there's just no way to execute this strategy. But if he could have said, you know, the intent here is to, you know, capture Leesburg.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and with minimum, capture Leesburg with minimum casualties and take as much time as you need, you know. It would have been a whole different game. That's commander's intent. That's what they do now. Because, as they say, no plan survives contact with the enemy.
Right.
That's a saying in the military. So with the, you know, with the whole career clearing, if we just say the intent of the whole career clearing is like, what have you?
Yeah, we should have told. Yeah.
What have you? What is it obvious, evident from your actions in your past lives that you have been trying to accomplish in the last several thousand years? And you know, it's just so easy to you know, because of course what happens is you start, like I remember when I started doing the whole career clearing, I accessed this lifetime where I was a Japanese general and I went with 2 other generals to Korea. We went there to, you know, we were conquering Korea presumably, or whatever it was like hundreds of years ago. And we were all lovers. We were all homosexual lovers. And, you know, I thought one of them betrayed the other or something, and I killed one of them by accident, you know, or by mistake. I had some misconception about him, and I killed him. And then, you know, the other one came back and told me I was wrong, and I was crushed. And in the middle of that, how do you ever figure out what you were trying to accomplish? You know, like you're accessing these things in your past life, and it's like, what? Who was I? You know. And of course the truth is, most of the time, most of us don't know what we're doing or why we do it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you know, in the lifetime where Franny was Helen, she probably thought she was serving Jesus. And then in some other lifetime she was, you know, Jewish and serving Moses. And another one she was a Buddhist and she was protecting those scriptures and just going from one, you know, one religion and place and nationality to another and protecting scriptures, you know. But it might not be obvious. And also we often tend to access trauma from these lives instead of activities. And see, this is why you should clear your trauma first. Because when you don't have any trauma, you're more likely to access activities in past lives. Whereas if you're in the middle of, you know, clearing trauma and you go into a past life, the first thing that's going to pop up is some awful thing that happened. And that's what you'll be, you know, testing about. So this is a good little explanation of the whole career clearing. Do you think you want to continue with it?
Yeah. Well, I do. I mean, I think a lot of what we've done so far might be in the area of closing trauma and doing sort of prepping ourselves. But for me, at least, and now that I see the intent more, I just got a sense of what it is. I want to do it.
Well, good. You know, by the way, I don't see Piyush on, and I think he was he was coming out of class or something. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There's many a slip betwixt the cup and the lip. So why don't you try to access something about your career? Now let's just do a little of it. We might as well do that for a little while. You know. So Jen and Barb, just do what you do when I'm not here, you know, or what you would do, you know.
Well, then back in '85, I was like,
just pretend I'm not here.
Oh God. Okay. Let's see. Well.
You know, I think I need to clear up a lot of past life trauma because I haven't done that. So I don't know if I would access any activity at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I've accessed a lot of past life trauma myself, which was,
But you might surprise yourself.
Yeah.
Like, for example, one way to do this is, think of people you know, or test and think of people you know who pop in your mind, and ask if you've known them in another life.
Like,
do that.
And then ask what particle they were in this or that life, and you can learn all kinds of things that way. Try that.
okay, what do you mean by particle? I'm sorry, I don't know that one.
Okay, well here, let's try this. Because most of the past life trauma that I have accessed are exactly the same as current life trauma. But I think by particle he means proton, neutron, electron, that kind of thing. So, like, for example, take your husband. Like, have you known him before? Right.
Yes,
So,
I did that
you
once.
know this stuff? Okay. Did you actually...
When I first started, it was kind of interesting to go through my family.
Yeah, friends and family. So did you go through any of us? Did you go through us at all?
I don't
It's
think
really,
so.
like... Well, let's do that. Like, have you known Fran before? Have you known Byard before?
Okay. I could have yes for Franny.
Can you get the relationship? Like, what was... I mean, we could get the exact lifetime, I guess. Let's go that way.
Okay.
Around the time period. Because that's exactly what I was doing. I was working off what I was getting about Fran, because hers are so clear, and seeing, well, what was my role? Because obviously we must have overlapped in those particular... I think what our intent here is, because obviously we're together for some kind of spiritual advancement or, truth. So how many years ago did you know Franny?
Okay, so we'll start with...
1,000.
Okay, over 1,000 years ago. I get a yes for over 1,000 years ago.
Okay, so was it, over 2,000? So you can get the, like...
Right, yeah, okay. Over 2,000.
I remember right over this, for that.
No. Over 1,500. Yes. Over 1,600. Yes. Over 1,700. No. Between 16 and 17. Yes. Do I need more like detail than between 16 and 17?
Not really. Well, you can even test that question. Is that close enough,
Yeah.
We're not at the Light Institute now. We're doing immune. If we were at Light Institute, we might spend 2 days on that part. No, just kidding. Yeah, just general, because we're really going in there to see what's relevant to now only. So is that good enough? Between 15 and 16, or 16 and 17?
Okay. Close enough. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so were you male or female?
Okay. Was I male? Yes, male.
What about Franny? Does it matter?
Okay. Is Franny male? Female. Female.
Okay. What part of the world were you in? Like, was
Okay.
it your...
Let's see. Asia. Europe. I get yes for Europe.
Yes, for Europe. Okay, I got yes. Okay. Between, what was this, 15 and 1600 or 16 and 17?
Between 16 and 17.
Yeah. Okay, so between 16 and
And
17. You were male, she was female. Okay, so what was happening? What do you recall? What are you channeling?
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like married brother and sister, you know,
Okay,
Oh
okay.
yeah, that's another one. Yeah, like were you like
father and daughter.
Were you? Yeah, what was the context?
Okay.
Were you?
Were we immediate family? Yes. Okay. Brother, sister. Brother, sister.
Brother, sister.
Okay. Yeah. Do we have... There's a lot of trauma in that life.
Between you, what was it? Your parents or the were you children together?
Children together. Yes.
Did somebody die? One of you die?
Did one of us die? No.
Were your parents in? But was part of the trauma having to do with your parents?
Yeah.
Was there a church involved?
Is there a church
So-
involved? Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Okay, so was it somebody in the church attacking your parents or something like that? Oh, I'm getting something.
I get a yes.
Was Fran trying to protect you or protect them? As she usually does. Was it that? What happened? Was it trauma?
Yeah, she's trying to protect something.
Okay.
Okay, something to do with our mother dying?
Right.
So, okay, our mother died. Okay, were we pretty young? And we were young children.
Hmm. Was she killed?
She killed. No. Did she
She
get
just died?
sick? Sick. She got sick.
Okay.
Okay, so we did grow up. We, made it to adulthood.
Oh, I see. Okay. Jesus, sorry. You made it to adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
But you said one of you died eventually before the other, in a traumatic. Was it a traumatic death for you?
No, I think the mother dying was the traumatic
that was the
death.
trauma. Okay.
And then
So then,
we're the father, I guess.
was abusive or something? Oh, what was your relationship with the father?
Okay.
Ask if he was like, if he's a aspect of this particular trauma that we're accessing that's related to your mention.
Yeah. I get a yes.
You know, about this,
It wasn't a.
I
Yeah?
just want to interrupt. With these things, it helps to do crazy kinds of testing. Like test was Georg there.
Okay. There's Georg there. I get no.
Or either anybody I know now, is anybody else I know now there?
I get a yes for that.
Anybody pop in your mind? Because you can test anybody who does.
Okay. I get a yes on my brother.
Okay. Here's another question. Did Franny and I interact in any way when I was on the zero dimension? Just see if you get a signal on that. Did Franny?
Okay, what?
Did Franny and I interact in any way when I was on the zero dimension?
Dimension. I get no.
How about when I was on the first dimension?
First dimension.
Did I interact with
No.
Franny? How about when I was on the second dimension?
I get a yes for
Okay.
second dimension.
Now, if that's the case, then see what you were testing about knowing Franny like 1700 years ago. I think what you actually accessed was simply a trauma or some incident that's relevant for some other reason that you needed to, in other words, this is like a question. The question you were actually testing was, is there something that I did with Franny that would be good for me or the best thing for me to access about right now? And that's what you got, was this thing that's 1700 years ago, because the second dimension is a lot longer back than 1700 years ago.
Okay.
The second dimension is way longer back. It's so far back that okay, anyways, you get the idea. So go on with this, but now you have more perspective on it, You know Franny for a longer time than this. This is something that happened between you of some importance. Your brother was there. That might give you an idea that your brother was there. Because look at your brother. Like, what's your brother like? What does it seem like his mission is? What has he been trying to accomplish? And you could also test through things. What have I been trying to accomplish for the last few thousand years? And just, what comes to mind? Maybe a few things pop in your mind and you test them. Maybe several things test yes. Do that. Try doing that for a minute.
Okay. All right, let's see what pops into my mind.
About what you and your brother are being just trying to accomplish.
Well, I get a yes for it. It involves the church somehow.
Now, I don't know if... Well, Tess, was it the Catholic Church?
Is it the Catholic Church? No.
Was it one of these Celtic cults?
Was it one of the Celtic cults?
Well...
No.
You could also ask, more specific places about Europe. Was it in Germany, for example?
Was it in Germany? No. Was it in England? Was it England?
Okay. Funny thing, my thought when I told you Germany, I almost said the next thing to test is England, and I don't think that I just think that you read my mind, okay?
Okay.
So I don't think that means anything other than we're just experiencing a little mental telepathy, but I just thought I'd mention it.
Okay.
It happens a lot with you two.
Well, it happens with you and me all the time, Barb. I'm like, the person who's really extreme with it is Franny, and Greg also.
But you read my mind and then she reads your mind. Yeah. Anyway, so we're all connected. And let's see. So you crossed paths with Franny in this lifetime again. I mean, in that lifetime you're talking about was England. So, the first thing that came to my mind, I don't know, test if it had anything to do with sort of rebelling against the church or doing something like that. Like somebody was trying to, maybe,
turbulent times.
Yeah, like were you involved with like a conflict with the church?
Well, when you're talking about the church, are you talking about the religion, the people where you lived, practiced?
Okay, yeah, like I could, yeah, exactly. Like whatever the ruling class was of the time, were you like rebelling against that? Something about that.
I get a yes.
Okay, so, What's just? I'm
Okay.
thinking. Go ahead.
You could test this, you know, because you were saying that your sister died, right?
My sister died. No, my mother died.
Okay.
The
Oh,
mother.
that's.
See,
Oh, yeah.
I was the guy and Franny was the girl.
And she was protecting you. Tess, was she older than you?
Okay.
So was your brother part of the church or part of the? What was your Where was your brother in all this?
He was the father, the evil father.
Ah, okay. That makes okay.
Your evil father.
Your brother was the father. Fran was your older sister.
And
were,
you wanted.
and you were a little boy. Okay, I got it. And was your father like doing something against the church or something? Hey, test if your father was part of like some other sect or cult.
He was doing something against the church.
Right, and Franny was trying to protect your father.
We were afraid, like, you know, for our lives, I guess. You know, they were pretty bad back then about going.
Yeah, exactly. So test if did Fran protect you or, get you, save you guys or something?
I get a no.
Was it a traumatic life? Like, did you guys all, let's see what happened. Did you escape or did you?
Okay, so I tested if we stayed together, and no, we didn't stay together. So something broke that family up.
Oh, okay.
Were you early Christians?
Were we early Christians?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so that would be the rebellion thing, because
Yeah.
around in England, I think in Rome there was, Christianity was pretty much accepted, but it may not have been in England. And also, I think a lot of people there saw Christianity as a big threat, which it was. And the Christians ended up like destroying all the other religions in that area.
Yeah.
So it was a religious war that was starting. It lasted like 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Did your family get split up? Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where you got split up.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I think that was the traumatic.
Okay, so right, me too. So ask if there's anything else you need to know about that. Test if you could close the trauma, if there's anything more we need to know.
Well, what you're looking for is what did you accomplish or were trying to accomplish and failed to accomplish. You could always see, there you go. You could test, was it a failed mission? Was it an accomplished mission? Was it,
I gotta know it wasn't a failed mission life.
Okay, so that would make it important then. And maybe it is this may be a part of your whole career clearing. What did you accomplish?
To rebel.
What?
To rebel.
Rebel?
So the accomplishment was simply the rebellion.
Maybe that's part of our mission, is to like stand up for truth, even if it's counter the mainstream.
Jen, what do you think about that? What do you test about it?
I think, yeah, I get a yes, but I'm just going, okay, well, I really, in this lifetime, I don't know how much of that I've done.
But in the lifetime that we're talking about, your accomplishment was simply that you rebelled, that you fought, which, whether you won or lost or got killed or didn't or whatever, or Franny and what protected you or didn't. And see, the thing about, I'll tell you something that I know about Franny. is that Franny protects everybody, but at the same time, she sends you into battle and gets you killed. So that's what she does, So she doesn't always succeed at protecting you, but she does always succeed in inspiring you to rebel, So, and it isn't like she doesn't like seem like she's advocating that either. I mean, it's funny because if you look at her, she's just like sort of she's like supportive of you, and then you come up with the idea yourself and you go charging off, So that was an interesting thing that you said, because you said, I asked you what you accomplished, and you said, I rebelled.
Yeah.
It's interesting because one of these books I was reading, it's called Rebel. The name of it is Rebel, And the guy, he's from Boston, he goes into the South, and he joins the Confederate Army. And at the end of the book, it says he had become a rebel. Like that's what he accomplished. It's a series of books about this guy. But that's what he accomplishes in this book. That is an accomplishment. Because, you see, if you rebel, whatever else happens, you have set an example. And test this question, like in this lifetime, do I seem to be setting an example?
Okay, yeah.
Maybe your MO for accomplishing your mission is setting an example. Like you're a vegetarian and you look good. And
For a vegetarian.
And I looked at you and I said, she looks good and she's a vegetarian. I think I'll eat some vegetarian meals and see what happens. And I ate some vegetarian meals and I noticed I looked better.
Yeah.
I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, oh, it works, I look better, And then I remembered, like, all the nights when I would have a fruit dinner, and I'd say, yeah, but that's a vegetarian dinner. I always used to think of it as a fruit dinner, but it's a vegetarian dinner. And I looked better the next day. And since I want to look better, because, see, I do, like, Oriental face diagnosis. And by Oriental face diagnosis, your face is very healthy. Like, it indicates you have very good health. Your face, the left and right sides are balanced, and your eyes are on the same level, and all the not too many wrinkles, like all the things that you look for, because every time somebody gets a wrinkle, you can tell, okay, this is your liver, and this one means you're drinking too much water, and this one means you're eating too much yang stuff, and this is grease here, and this is too much oil and stuff. So your face doesn't have any of that. So like you're not doing too much of anything according to your face. See?
I want you to test on something though that's been lingering. Like before when you tested that part of your mission was to rebel or to I said something about standing up for the truth, and you said I don't know if I'm doing it that much this lifetime. Yeah. Test if you're still doing it, but you're just better at it. Like you've learned how to protect yourself.
Good one, Barb. I got it, yes. I
Yeah. Yeah, your subtle body's going. You learned a lot from your past lifetimes. Okay, yeah, cool.
Thanks.
Sure.
Now, just another tip-off about this whole career clearing thing. Like, you just access this life, and you don't know that much about it at this point, but you have learned something about yourself. That you set an example, and that's how you accomplish things. That's your method, your methodology. We don't actually know what your mission is exactly. Mm-hmm. Like what do you set an example to what end, for? I mean, it's nice that, I look better, but is that your mission to make people look better? It could be. Like your mission could be, creating physical beauty in human beings. Or that could be a mission,
Looking good.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Handle it? Handle it?
well, to put it another way, your mission could be health.
Yeah.
That could definitely be
part of it.
that could definitely be a mission, and you don't have health without looking healthy. Nobody who's healthy looks unhealthy.
Exactly.
You know, right?
And you're
So therefore, people who have that mission might be real example setters. See, that's what they do. They set an example, you know? And so they might do it by running out and getting killed, or they might do it by eating well or something, you know? But see, what I wanted to give you, this little tip, is you got to keep thinking about this. When you're doing a whole career clearing, you got to keep thinking about the thing you access. Like, never think it's over. Like, I learned what I have to learn from it. Because you'll never learn everything you have to learn from any of these things. There's always something more to know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it does say in the whole career clearing that it's never over. The whole career clearing is never over.
Sure, because see, the reason you're doing this is not an academic exercise where you learn all about yourself to no end. You're doing this for a reason, and the reason you're doing it is so you can be better at your mission. You can be better at accomplishing your mission. You know, like when I did a lot of whole career clearing, and a lot of it had to do with Franny, you know, and one of the things I actually, the whole career clearing did clear some real resentment that I had been carrying for thousands of years, and it just kept reactivating every time, because, you know, I'm always the guy that takes the fall. I'm the nasty, mean son of a bitch who kills everybody, and Franny is over there, you know, and she's like this
saving everybody.
She's really this really nice person, and everybody honors and loves her, you know, but meanwhile, without me doing the dirty work, she would get nowhere. And I always was so angry at her, but I didn't know it. This could cause me to fail. I didn't know that I felt that way. And this could cause me to fail. And when I realized it, and it was, you know, it was this Japanese lifetime, you know, it was in the 1860s. Franny was a lord who created something called the Meiji Restoration, which is a major turning point in Japanese history, where they abolished the samurai. And boy, did they have a lot of internal struggles, you know, with it. A lot of people got killed. And I was, you know, I was basically just a noble woman. But I just ordered a lot of assassinations and did a lot of, you know, dishonorable things. And meanwhile, everybody was, you know, I mean, a lot of people wanted to kill Franny, but even the people that wanted to kill her didn't, like, see her the way I saw myself. You know, because I was like running a major spy network. So that was who a lot of the spies were women.
Yeah.
In that culture. You know, that's what women were good at, you know, and they could do that. Because, you know, they could talk to each other and nobody thought there was anything strange about it. So information got passed, you know. It was really easy to pass information. But anyway, so this is just, you know, this is something that I got out of doing this. And see, like we were talking yesterday about, you know, your challenges in business, you know, with your husband's. And, you know, I don't know if you noticed, but I did find that other Malcolm Gladwell movie.
Okay, I saw the first one. I mean, that wasn't Malcolm Gladwell.
No,
but I'll check that out.
But I put that on your Facebook wall too. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And you know, the thing that I realized, I don't know if you realized what I was trying to do when I said that your husband, you know, could stand to watch a few movies or something, you know, like watch a 20-minute movie, you know. You see, the thing is that when people are in business, like they get into these situations where they're just up against the wall and they forget that they like business. Business becomes this miserable thing, you know, that they like he's probably dreaming of opening a scuba shop right now. You know?
He would be a kindergarten teacher. That's what he would do.
Your microphone went out again.
Oh.
He was saying, but you said he used to be a kindergarten teacher. I got
I
it.
said that's his dream. That's his dream.
That would be his dream job.
Default.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that's what I mean, you know, that people, and you know, the thing is, this is why, like, the you know, the really successful business, you know, business coaching is an industry.
Yeah.
And the really successful business people have coaches. Why do they need coaches? You know, because they're like the CEO of PepsiCo. So why would the CEO of PepsiCo, he's made it. Why does he need a coach? And they need coaches because, and they know this more than ever. You know, like a long time ago, I read Roger Enrico's book about how he beat Coke. He was the CEO of Pepsi, and he beat Coke, and their sales outstripped Coke's. And you know, he died of he got a heart condition. And of course, he was probably drinking a lot of Pepsi too, you know, and that didn't help at all. That was stupid, you know, to put his life into something like that. But it was a wonderful book, and I really enjoyed him. He was a very wonderful person. And it's really, but he didn't have a coach. You could see it, you know, he did. And also, see, Callaway, one of the directors, was kind of his coach. And without Callaway, he wouldn't have been able to survive. But he really just needed somebody that he talked to a few times a week. And because when people have coaches, they remember that they're enjoying themselves. And they do something for them, you know, something that like, and they remember that they like business. That's why they went into it, because they enjoy it. It's exciting. It's fun. It's a game, you know. It's like, and the score when you win, it's just so much fun, you know. And like, boy, I had to drag myself away from it to do this, because I always loved it. I still love it. I mean, I never stopped studying it. Because it was like, you know, in addition, it was always a labor of love for me. You know, I love business. I just love every kind. I've been in all different kinds of businesses. And I love them all. What, I can't hear you. Your mic keeps going out. You may need to either buy another mic or have your sound card in your computer looked at or something. There's something that, it should not be cutting out the way it cuts out. Anyway, go ahead, and I think I'll probably be back now.
Better?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said, is this a reoccurring theme in your past lives?
Of liking business?
Yeah.
Good question. You know, it seems like it's...
Well, test.
Is that a recurring theme in my past? You know, that's funny. I didn't think to test. Is it a recurring theme in my past lives? But there was a time when I didn't call it business.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is it was called other things at other times, but yes. You know, at times it was called politics, by the way.
Right.
I was thinking about, I'm reading a biography of Abraham Lincoln, and I was thinking about that, how these guys who were politicians in his time, they would have been the internet CEOs now. Because now these were people who looked and said, what do people need?
Well, maybe they are the CEOs.
Yes, that's absolutely right. They absolutely are. You know, it's just like, you know, I look at a lot of these, where you see movies of Muslim terrorists.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they're talking about, you know, Jews as inferior people and so on. And you could just see that they were the Nazis. Yeah. People don't change that much from life to life, you know. Well, with that, it seems like it's time for us to stop Piyoshi's No Show, but we did a very good movie here.
And now it's time to go the 144th dimension.
Yes, I'm here.
Don't forget. Good thing. You're here.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. I'll say.
Oh, by the way, there is something I want to mention. That we did a movie where we were talking about success, and we said, you know, when you cure things that are in the way of success, success comes.
Yeah.
You know, obviously this is relevant to Georg.
Yeah.
You know, but also it's relevant to us because we're supposed to make a sequel to that movie, and we never have. And that was, we were going to do it the following week, and then I blew it and I didn't show up. Remember that?
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
Yeah, the Valentine's Day. The St. Valentine's Day Bayard Massacre. So we must do that. We must make the sequel
Yeah.
to that movie.
We do. Yeah, let's do it. I want to do it.
Okay, so we just shouldn't, I don't want these things to like slip under the cracks, you know? I just hate when that happens.
I won't forget.
All right, and I won't either. And Barb won't, right, Barb?
Yes, mine is like a still
Take
shot.
your magnesium. Don't forget.
Okay.
You want to succeed, right, Barb?
I'll test on it. I did a yes. Am I succeeding? Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting that you are.
Everything's on schedule, yes.
I'm getting that you
No
are.
problem.
You look great, by the way.
Oh,
Yes, she does.
I did a lot of work in my sleep.
Yeah. You know, I'm finding your tweets very inspiring, and I also know what to do with you and what, you know, and so on, and what you need. And you know, the other day when I called you, I guess it was yesterday actually, Jen, I wouldn't have called you, but I saw the tweet.
Thank you. That was very nice.
You know? So this movie was given to you by HUM, the World Ministry of Immunics, which enables you to cure medically incurable diseases. We also produce the Cure Drive in the iCollege of Immunics. This is the home page. And as you see here, the movie that starts playing automatically when the page opens is a 3-hour tutorial film, which underneath it is the beginning of a series of movies. If you click on these links, you go to another movie that's a continuation of the tutorial, showing different aspects of the things that people need to get into when they cure things. The movie shows many people curing things. You'll find complete cure tutorials on the home page. Under the group at the top is another, this is a video and text tutorial, and if you click on the link, you'll see it has 10 lessons, and you can click on each lesson and you'll see it that the lessons are movies interspersed with explanations. And if you continue scrolling down the home page, you'll find a huge bank of movies of people curing things. Here's one of someone curing multiple sclerosis that you can click on and these play. Hopefully this one will play in a moment. There it is. So that woman cured PPMS and MS. Here you'll find people from every continent: Europe, the US, Asia, Canada. This woman cured shingles, and in this particular movie that's what she's demonstrating. And at the top of the home page you will find links to the cure meetings that we have every week. 9 p.m. New York time, Rome time 8 p.m. Underneath the cure meetings you'll find a link to Friend Me. It's actually Bayard. I'm Bayard speaking to you on Facebook, and you'll meet many people who are my Facebook friends there who have cured various diseases. Many of us have cured herpes, which is what I cured. Also there, if you have trouble getting signals, there is a whole bank of movies that focus on people who are just starting to get their first signals. Many of these people went on to bigger and better things, and you see them in other movies. But these are movies about their signals, how they got their first signals. At the very top of the home page, you will find above the masthead a link to the cure shows. And we documented people curing things on, we did this on the phone. There are shows on about 75 diseases, and the diseases are listed alphabetically, as you can see. You actually hear the people curing these diseases during these shows. That's post-traumatic stress syndrome from 9/11, the catastrophe. We have a show on that, and fever, somebody curing the fever, several people curing fibromyalgia, flu. We had a flu hotline, and there are many people. These people are actually curing flu, and the flu stops. It clears up during the 15 or 20 minutes of the call. It doesn't take long to cure the flu. Over here you have paralysis, parasitic parenting, Parkinson's disease. When you cure something, please join your voice with the voices of the many people who came before you by reporting your cure in our poll, which you can do right above the tally of the cures that people have reported is here at the top. And as you can see, there's a little link here. And if you click on that, you will come to a form that enables you to report your cure. This page is the hub of the Webb College, and as you can see, there are detailed lessons on how to remove viruses, cure cancer. Here's a movie on the right here of a doctor who actually years ago cured the flu on camera. You'll notice that skill 1 in the hierarchy of skills is cure physical diseases. That's actually the easiest thing with this particular approach. And I've put a great many things in the hierarchy of skills that relate to curing physical diseases, such as ending trauma, working on your organs. Now, if we go into the Recode Your DNA, there are 10 applications or 11 applications, and Recode Your DNA is one of them. If we go inside here, what we see is a page with a huge amount of links. And then if we look at the links on the right, after the ones on the left which prepare you, these are the actual lessons. And you can see some of them. It might be hard for some people to see why blind installation procedure is related to recoding your DNA. And this is why we've put it in this application, so that it relates it in your mind. This is the reason the Webb College is organized the way it is to relate things for you in your mind. And obviously there are a huge number of things, like if you're curing cancer or herpes or any medically incurable disease, it's obvious that there are a great many things that you have to learn. And they're different for everybody. You do not have to learn everything that's listed here. And in fact, cure is instantaneous. And it's always unexpected how it will come. Like, watch these women. They're going to give you a perspective. This is a good way to conclude this little overview I'm giving you here. Say, can I go to the 144th dimension? See if you get a signal on that. Can I go to the 144th dimension?
Can I go to the 144th dimension? Yes? I guess I can.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay,
Okay.
both of you go to the 144th dimension.
I'm taking myself to the 144th dimension.
Me too.
No stopping for gas on the 8th dimension.
I feel clear.
Yeah, I feel less interested in anything below the 144th dimension.
Can we stay here all the time?
I know, exactly.
Well, I mean, this would take a lot of backstory, but there are some decisions that my family's making that I now feel clear about.
Yes, because when you have that perspective from the 144th dimension,
Yeah,
you simply don't care about anything as much.
that's exactly it. But I don't care doesn't sound so good.
Well, see, that's right.
But it's it. That's really
Denied effect.
When people hear we say we don't care, they go, "Well, God, that's sick," you know.
Okay, I know.